Good morning, good evening. I would want to say good night also, depending on what time you are looking at this recording. It's always a pleasure to serve you. My name is Dr. Nancy Miles, for GMP coordinator of University of Ghana related course, Critical Thinking and Practical Reasoning. And I'm speaking currently to the cohort for the second semester of 2022-2023, main campus, College of Health Science and City campuses. I hope all is well. This is just a quick feedback, like the routine I always take you through to help put people's minds at rest or at bay whilst they wait for results or wait for exam or something. So this is a feedbacking on where we are so far on grading you and releasing your results. And because we take keen interest in how students receive authentic information, because of the numbers we are dealing with, the varied nature of the departments of the university, and so on and so forth, we are minded to keep you informed. And so that's what I'm doing now. And that should serve a good number of people, in addition to the written announcement that sometimes people read in a flippant way, I must say, and so don't get the details. I'm speaking to some of the content so that hopefully it can help resolve them. Of course, I do this on behalf of the whole team of faculty and teaching assistants that do this course with us. But I do that as the examiner of the course. And so please listen. Grading, let me speak in clarity, in a way that is clear to all students. Marking your exam that you took is done for all campuses. Marking. Marking means we have a scheme we are looking at. So the portions of your exam that were machine marked, that is the MCQ parts of your exam, were marked the same day. They could have been released just when you finished your exam for your particular batch, not even for the whole period, you see. But there were short answer components, like you know already, that takes human grading, so we can test your critical abilities and see how you are creating and evaluating and analyzing arguments, causal reasoning, emotive induction, and so on and so forth for your units 6, 7, 9, 10. Those ones are human marked, and we have worked on them. We here referring to the examining team together, we have graded them all. After grading, we review and then we peer review according to the scheme to, as much as possible, take away the human errors and then ensure a fair, common degree of fairness. So don't worry about, who is marking what and what have you. It's team worked on, and then we peer review nicely. When we finish, then we do a final reviewing. And so that has been done. That is why it has taken even more than a week or 2 or so since you took your exam to release the result. I think this would be the 3rd or 4th week. If it was just the marking, the right after marking release results, then you would have seen your results already. But we try to mop up. That is why when you send a query after results are released, we are able to speak authentically to what you did and pull your things point. A few of you have done that, and you've seen your feedback, especially where people were not too sure why. How did I score 0, for example? And so I'm getting there. Then I'll pull your feedback and show you your plagiarism, your Turnitin report, and then the document itself, not just the report flagging you red for some of the few of you that have done that, but the document itself. Sometimes, and I shudder to say that from line 1 to the end, your submission and another person's submission is exactly the same. That's embarrassing to put on record. But we are able to tell you that because we took time to look at it, to look at your submissions and put down our recording before we give, really. So what has happened so far? City campus and College of Health Science campuses. Main campus, not yet. We haven't released it. We are done, but we are doing our mopping up and, tweaking it here and there and moving stuff. But I initially released the assignment 1 for main campus also, but they wouldn't allow us to work. And you can't be, when we are all done and then you bring your queries, we can quickly pull everything on you and submit to you. That way we are able to respond to you. So I blocked them all for main campus. So main campus currently doesn't see any of their results yet. Okay, but City Campus, you have seen your results for assignment 1, assignment 2. If you didn't do them, there was an opportunity for makeup. So the makeups are what you will look out for if you didn't do the main assignments 1 and 2. You look out for makeup assignment 1 or 2 if you did it. If you didn't do any of them, that tells you you already lost 20 marks, which you know already. Okay? But the generality of the class did that. So you would have seen that, and then you'd have seen your interim assessment, which was worth 30 marks, as well as your final exam, 50 marks, totaling what? 100 marks. Let me quickly say this before I forget. Some of you, after going for your interim assessment or your final exam, that was supervised. You didn't. You went to your designated center, sat down, a chief invigilator and some invigilators monitored your working, and then you finished within the hour, 50 minutes or whatever was given to you, and you walked out. After you have submitted your work, you go out of the center. Sometimes the next day, when others are writing, you're at home and you want to tweak, or I don't even know the expression, to try to see if you can get into the system from home. You do that, the system will capture that and it will score you a 0. You are it's stealing. I don't know why people want to do that. If you submitted your hard script at the exam center, do you go back to collect it and look inside and see something? It's not done. Even the blank sheet, you don't take it out of the exam hall. So if you do that, because the assessment is only 1 attempt, the system will capture that as, hey, we just got a tip. And we can trace all that in the system if you came arguing. So that will score you a 0 that no one gave you. And I've had at least, I think I've seen one such instance with City Campus from a query. The student sent in a question. So does it mean I didn't get any mark in the IE? And I am very patient. I'm sure most of you know that. So I'll go into the system and see. The student doesn't think so, that she scored a 0. And she didn't plagiarize. In fact, interim assessments were not assignments. They were not written essays. So there wasn't even room for you to go and pick from somebody. How did she score 0? She didn't get even 1 mark correct for an MCQ. I went to check. You've gone into the system again when no one was watching. That's thievery. It's like you had only 1 attempt. You are done. You've submitted your work. What are you going to look at when you've left the center and gone home? You see, so that was captured as 0, and there isn't much we can do about that. Because as soon as you want to say that, oh, okay, the student said he or she didn't know, supposedly, or she knew, but she didn't think she'll be caught. Well, are we going to mop up like that for 300 students who try that in future? We cannot do that. So keep to simple instructions and let integrity guide you all the time. We are all not perfect. We are working on ourselves, but there are certain things you just tell yourself, I don't do it. And that's all. Okay. So let me just say that before I forget. So you have your assignment 1. If you plagiarized beyond a certain number, the red flagged ones, 75% and more are not your content. You just picked it from someone. Ditto. That's cost you a 0. Some will actually manipulatively take content, but how? They open quotes and put the whole passage, the whole essay they've written into quote, open quote, close quote, and the essay of many lines. I quote. How do you do that? Are we rewarding you for your ability to quote from some? So I'm saying all those ones early to show you when you hear that your colleague got a 0 or 2 or 1, don't have an appeal to the masses kind of assessment of what has gone on. Pick every particular detail. So some class reps, one of I think City Campus, my very able, one of the class reps there that communicates with has a lot and takes feedback and gives to them. Said, Doc, please, when you release the results, some people said they got. I said, did you read my announcement that I put on Sakai for all students? I just prompted you to tell your colleagues. If anyone has a query, a concern, a question, some clarity they seek, they should write to the email, because what is an anchor, it will be an edited one, each man for himself. God for us. So some copied, some went back into the system, someone got 9/10. Someone got 10/10. I think that the 10s were not too many, but it's fine. There were S's, but 9, 8. Don't come and give me any generic thing. Don't think everyone that had a 0 belonged to some didn't submit anything. It will be 0. And so on and so forth. But generally, you have received your feedback. I want to speak to it rather than writing and just saying if you plagiarize, you will get this. Some got 50% plagiarized content. If the rest of the content, which is the other half, 50, is okay, you can get 4/5 or 3/5. Really, it's 3/5, but because the other half is copied, it becomes 3/10 or 4/10. Because you can't take as much as half the content you are submitting for grading from someone. D2, D2. I'm not the one who says that. The system catches you. Okay. And a few of you, you can talk to your friends, have come. I did the work myself and I don't. So I just take a screenshot of your own submission, like I said earlier. And the one that the system has flagged, anything has flagged you as picking from someone else. With the name of the person and everything there. Your own submission and the person's. And sometimes it's funny. They look at it and say, thank you, Doc. Thank you for the clarification. Which clarification? You took the whole 100% sometimes. The only thing that is not included is your name. How? Or a mark? And this is not a big number, I should say, but because we are dealing with a class size that is big, the whole university is fresh students. Even if it is just 0.0001% of students that are like that, it is still a representative, what's the expression, is a big number that we want to prompt. You will score a straight 0. We don't want people that we can't commit the nation's resources into their hands because their integrity is in question. That one is non-negotiable. Okay, but apart from that, you would see that it was liberally marked. We just wanted to see evidence of what critical ability, conscientiousness, you are answering the question you were asked. We tried not to penalize you so much. If you picked, say, question 2 and used it to answer question 1, we tried. But generally, we want people to be conscious of details as critical minds. Like I said in class, so that if you were a doctor, you were prescribing, you want to be careful whether you wrote 125 milligrams or 225 milligrams. They're not the same. You could kill someone with such lack of attention to detail. If you were a lawyer, you would want to look out for where the but was and where the comma was before you sanction a transaction for your client, stuff like that. It's a training, so we looked out for that. Assignment 1, assignment 2, we don't countenance plagiarism. A little percentage of copying here, and not even copying, sometimes because of what you're dealing with, there might be overlaps in the language. We don't punish 30%, 22%. But you can't carry as much as 80% from someone and add 20 and say you have come, you want 10/10. Says who? All right. And then others also use some chat, what's the thing? Chat GTP. My friend says GTP. Is it cloud? Chat GPT. Look, we want people to own their content. Even if it said nothing substantive, it should be yours. That is very important. Where you need to take a line or two or elaborate on what someone said, indicate so and write it so you can paraphrase, you can what's the expression, you can recount what was said. You don't state verbatim and say it is yours. Free. All right. Then the makeups, I've talked about that. And then interim assessment, I've talked. So you go back into the system, it will give you 0. And unfortunately, we won't be able to go deleting your attempt to get into the system. Suppose you were able to do so outside. The university has a range, an IP range within which you are permitted to write. And then it is supervised for that specific time. So you cannot do that. You cannot. If you did that, it's a straight 0, like some of you. Not some. That's not even a fair comment. I've seen that for one person. so far for City Campus, because I went to check when the person asked, and this is the interim assessment, it's not the assignments at all, the interim assessment and the final exam. I saw that with the interim assessment. Then you can have your total of 100. Now, the comment I have sent so far for College of Health Science, the final uploads on the MIS have been done for College of Health Science today. They are not a big number. So we have mopped up that. We've taken our queries, we have uploaded onto the MIS. So you would see it already on your transcript if you are a College of Health Science student. City Campus, mopped up, released. I gave some few days to get queries from you and go and see just in case there was another human error. We haven't seen it. In fact, there's been reason for me to even want to reduce certain certain marks because of some students' posture. We mark liberally, very liberal, because we know we are dealing with a big group, and you stand in front to engage a big group. So we are careful with giving zeros for feedbacks. No, unless it is a plagiarized content. No, but not for exam and I, where the person is feedbacking and the exam pressure maybe, and then maybe struggling to come out with what they wanted to say. So just a sign that you were trying to work towards it can even end you 2/5, even if you didn't answer the question correctly. Any quote and unquote arrogant posture from a student who feels that they couldn't have had so and are not even asking it, but are instructing it as if, how can I get that? That's already a sign that I didn't go through critical thinking. Very well, you see that. If you did that, if you're not careful, even the marks for effort, which we so benevolently give. Why? We give because we take it that the student was trying to say, let's say you wanted to type the correct answer is modus ponens, or better still, hasty generalization, or even misplaced vividness, but you said hasty generalization. We take it that it's somewhat close to that. So instead of just a raw 0, we could give you 3/5, because misplaced vividness is a variation, how do you say it here, of hasty generalization, just that there's emphasis of an emotional impact. So you may have interpreted it as, excuse me, hasty generalization. We give that mark, even though that is not what we are looking for. Okay. Sometimes you didn't even say anything close to that. But we say, well, the person wrote something down. So give 2 marks, give 1 mark or something for wrong answers. So if you come with some arrogant posture, yeah, that we are even, and even asking, some are very rude in even how they are sending queries in, as if the people working on your script don't know what they are about. When you do that, if you're not careful, sometimes, not all the times. So far, we haven't had reason to change anything, especially with the short term. The MCQs are straightforward. The answers are there. I could take a whole snapshot of everything for you to see. Okay, all right. So we just want to prompt there, not to say don't ask. Oh, doc, please, is it possible? I mean, sometimes people are surprised at themselves positively. Yeah, I got this. Yeah. Sometimes people are surprised negatively. Yeah. Could it be that I got 31/50? How is that? Because so it's sometimes a genuine concern. And the pools are big. We can take you through every, correct answer in the big pools of questions that we have. But we try to make you see what the possible, correct answers would have been. All right. So that's for the feedbacking on the way to grade. And so by now, if you are City Campus or College of Health Science, you would know your total mark over 100. Then I quickly send in an announcement when results are released like that to tell every student that you yourself, you can work your over 100 and then interpret which grade you should have expected by the grading scale of the university, which I don't want to project now. You should know the University of Ghana's grading scale. 80 to 100 is an A, all the way to 0 to 44 is an F. So if I got 0, God forbid, and someone else got 43, that person and myself in the university's eyes stand on the same scale. We are the same, the value is the same. I need students to understand that. So someone could have gotten 2 Another person would have not seen any 2%. I'm just giving scenarios. Another could have gotten 44%. You are both F students in the grading scale. The same way, someone could get 80%, another gets 99, 100%. And the university says the one who got 20 wrongs to give him or her 80, and you who got no wrong at all stand on the same scale. What does that mean? It is a grading. Grading is not the same as marking. Marking uses the scheme to tell you what you earned. Grading means you shift them into groupings. That is why the university's grading scale. So 70 and 74 belong together. 0 and 44 belong together. What is happening? You are grading them, are shifting them to belong into specific groupings to help you determine who you would label as an A student, who will be a B plus and a B. Even B and B plus are not the same, and C plus are not the same in that order. You can look at your various course outlines, the handbook, the online, wherever, easily to find the entire grading scale. But I wanted you to do your own over 100 check on the scale. Then I will quickly point 9 now, look on your screen. I quickly prompt when I release results that the examining team, led by the examiner, just to myself, will moderate. So the team will sit and moderate. When I say the team, those who are accountable to will moderate it. So the examiner will lead that. To moderate, moderation means what it is. What does it mean to moderate? The moderator of it, what does it do? He conducts it, moderates the results before we do the upload. And you don't moderate downwards. You don't moderate someone's result and push it down. How? You see that? So you moderate upwards, some human exigencies. Maybe someone is a slow typer. They are not excuses, but when you finish everything, you look at the general performance. You look. So if someone got, for example, 48 over 50, over 100, sorry. Why would you write 48 exactly? What if there was 1 or 2, 1 point human error, 2 point human error? It's okay. How is that allowed? Because 70 to 74 belong together. Even 80 to 100, they belong together. 20 marks different. In the university's mind, they belong together. 0 to 44, look at the margin. 44 and 0. Look at the difference, but they belong together. That is a grading thing. It is not a marking thing. So when we finish, I prompt student, results will be moderated and then uploaded. Now, because you may not know, and this is go through a process. Sometimes someone missed an IA because of health, and so blah, blah, blah. There are a lot of things. So you have to give us time to work well for you. Because we don't sleep. We want to deliver with integrity, a lot of compassion, but firmness, because people must go through the training. They can't just pass through. And yet you don't want to be overly unnecessarily wicked, or if you like, stern, as a word. So all those things are at play. You rush us, we will rush and give you things, and then we can't change anything. But if we take our time, what happens is we are able to pick out the very nitty-gritties, mop up nicely like we have done now. Then we start the upload of the results. So as I speak with you, I think that I've done the first 15 or so City Campus sheets uploaded. So some of you City Campus test, if you see this recorded, at this time, it's currently a little over 5 o'clock, today, 28 August. You would have seen your results. It will take a while because I'm doing a manual upload. Then we pop up nicely. When we are done, there will be notice on your course site, Zakai, announcement telling you that uploads onto the MIS has been completed. I don't want to see too many emails now. Though all my friends have seen, everybody has seen their apologies. Everybody has seen their results. I don't know why mine is gonna auntie. Do you understand, everybody? Appeal to the masses, baby. Don't appeal to the masses. patiently wait. When we are done, we release the results for you. And then I don't want people sending messages. No, please, can you add one? Or if you do that, you undermine the process because we are already moderating. Say it is you're coming to tell us this or that tweet. I don't know anybody. What I know is I'm dealing with human beings. And so you have to put a human face to it. Our vice chancellor and the team up there say humanism, technology, blah, blah, blah. We are dealing with human beings and people have worked hard. So we are interested in that. But others too need to push. So if we have one or two students who just didn't push well enough, we'll give them another opportunity to do it again by failing them out of love. No one can force us out of that. But we don't set out to fail people at all. And so when the results come out, you will see that. What I don't like is the patronage. Casaderism. It puts me off so much because it undermines what you are doing. It's as if people didn't come to, corner you or say this or that. It wouldn't. Meanwhile, the thing is already like that. 48 will likely turn 50 or even 55, and so on and so forth. And it will cut across. So there is no pick and choose, friend or foe, etc. Okay, and respect University of Ghana lecturers generally for that. I'm one of them, a proud member of faculty for UTAG. UG chapter. Okay. Now, so I've talked about you having patience to wait for that. That just in case your patience is waning out or there is something pertinent to put across, you have an email specifically given for such. Don't go all over the place, putting emails everywhere. One, it doesn't help for our checking records for you to help you. If you send it on the email I've given to you, the Gmail that is communicated in every announcement I give out to the students for UGRC 150. When you do that, it helps you because when I go to that email, I address all concerns there. And if I have to follow up on what you sent earlier, it is all there. To put it in my UG email, then I keep going. Some send it to other colleagues' things. We don't arrange our UGRC 150 that way. It's an examiner taking queries, dealing with them, of course, on behalf of the team. So simple obedience instructions will help you. My main campus will give us a little bit more patience so that we mop up and then we move on to yours. You have huge, like large numbers. So it takes time to save you and save you. That way, if currently when queries are coming in, I know it's likely the city campus, even if they don't state it. So it makes it easier for us to go quickly to the site and check and deliver. Then from there, we move to main campus, hopefully in a matter of days. Thank you all very much. I hope this update helps you and keeps you at bay. We are still philosophy and classics department serving the university. We still have our Abadai compassion there, but we are still firm as making sure that you leave the university with some critical thinking, practical reasoning, skill for everyday life. Thank you. Wish you well. You will do fine. Folks tell me, Doc, you didn't say you will do fine. I just said it. You will do fine. All the best. Take care.